How's it going, everyone? I'm Zabin, and thank you for hopping on in. Guys, it is cold today, but it is a nice Sunday. It is October 27th, and I'm doing my first ever, vlog type video. I've never done this before, so it may not be the best, okay? Don't attack me if this video was not that great. But I'm doing my first ever vlog type video because I'm going to a card show, my first ever card show. I don't think I've ever really been to a card show, especially now that I'm adult and I'm in my own car, you know, I'm big, I'm a grown up, I can go do that now. So that's what I'm going to do. Actually linked up with one of our viewers, Seabass. I don't know if he would be okay with being on camera. I'm gonna have to ask him and all that stuff when we're there. But we're gonna be hanging out with him for a bit. It's only from 9 to 3, so like 6-ish hours if I recall. Not gonna be there the whole time, probably just maybe an hour or so. See what they got. We're trying to go as early as we can. I'm already wasted like a half hour, but we're gonna try to see what we can get and look at in the first like hour or so, and just kind of chill and hang out for a bit, have some fun, right? Not only that, I also have my backpack here with my binder inside and a little battery pack just in case we need to charge our phone or something. So I'm gonna get ready for that. Again, this is gonna be at like some, what is it? It's gonna be at a Holiday Inn. Sounds a little weird to me, but I'm sure that's probably normal, right? So sun's coming up still. I'm gonna get driving, head over there, hopefully link up with Seabass. I gotta make sure I even have my wallet, cause how am I gonna get in? It's a $2 entry fee, super pricey. I don't know how I'm gonna get in. That's a joke, of course. But yeah, we're gonna have a blast. So I'll see you guys there, and hopefully Seabass will already be there and we could just walk straight in. All right, guys, I just got here at the Holiday Inn, and I'm just waiting on Seabass. And I'm just, you know, took me a second to find a parking spot because I think it's a mix of people who are actually here for the show and then people who are just here because it's a Holiday Inn. So it's a little bit mixed, but there was a lot of people here. The only reason why I know I'm in the right spot is because two things. One, I saw a sign that said, you know, card show. So I know that's the right spot. And then the other thing being the fact that literally just like moments ago, I just saw a dad and his son, it seemed like, with a binder. And of course, what else is it gonna, what's the binder gonna be for? Yeah, business? Well, maybe it could be, I don't know. Maybe they're, you know, the owner of the Holiday Inn for all I know. But yeah, so I'm just kind of waiting here, chilling. Sorry if my hand's a little shaky. You know, I have my all beat up from work, so my hands are a little sore. While we're waiting, I'm just enjoying a mango energy drink. I got my cologne ready to go. This was a cheap cologne, but you know what? Sometimes beggars cannot be choosers. So just went with a random one. Again, I'm gonna have this on screen for you guys so you could hopefully see the thing that I'm seeing and get an idea of where this is at and whatnot. Hopefully they will have, and I doubt they will, but if they do, hopefully they do, maybe they'll have somebody there that will help with getting cards graded, because I did bring my binder. I brought two binders, in fact. I separated a binder for like trading / selling. So if I feel like I have cards that I just don't want or willing to trade off to hopefully discount a different card or something, I will do that. And then I have another binder that is exclusively for cards that either I want to keep or want to just get graded, and then at that point maybe I will sell. Which honestly, let's just pull it out and kind of browse through it since we have quite a bit of time until Seabass gets here. So let's just check that out. Yo guys, really quick, look at that. Oh, look at that bird. What's he doing? What is he doing? He's just a silly little bird. He's just on this tree. Just what is he doing? What? We got to give this guy a name. I don't know. Oh, he flew off. Oh, man. Oh, he's at the other tree. He's at the other tree. Look at him. Look at him. What is this guy doing? What is he doing? I love this guy. You see them geese up there? They can leave. This guy right here. Oh, guys, we need a name for him. Oh, he's flying off again. He's probably looking for another tree. Oh. All right, guys, ignore the trash. But this is my sell / trade binder if we find anything. So I'm just giving you guys a bit of a quick preview here. We have quite a bit of cards. I started off with more somewhat pricier stuff in the front, and I'm now just realizing I don't have sleeves or anything. So if I got like a nice set of cards and wanted to, you know, sleeve them up, oh, it's gonna be very reflective. I did not think about that, but I have quite a bit of cards in here. We're gonna go on to the next one. That was all my shiny stuff, right? We got all these V cards. I'm debating on this Dragonite. I don't know if I want to get rid of him because I kind of want to keep that Dragonite. I'm so sorry. The sun is in such a bad spot. I can't really show off the left side of this binder. There we go. Maybe that's a little bit better. Just know we have a bunch of like the more common V cards or the EX cards. Some of them are promos, right? Like this Walking Wake. I like Walking Wake, but that's one I'm probably gonna end up giving up. We got Empoleons, we got Zarudes, Glaceons, right? So just a ton and a ton of just mostly V cards and EX cards with a couple of these like like trainer art card things. I forgot the appropriate name for these. The gallery cards, I think they're called. Right, trainer. Most of these are unfortunately not sleeved, that's my bad. Don't attack me, okay? That's my bad. But at the same time, this Mew card is probably like 75 cents. What do I really need to sleeve it up? Probably do. But yes, we got just a bunch. And then I got these 3 Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So I have an idea of what I might do. I'm hoping I can find someone who will take these 3 Yu-Gi-Oh cards, maybe just sell them, and then maybe just use that to kind of budget, if that makes sense. So if this, let's say, ends up being $10 for the 3, then I would look into other cards that are maybe around 10 bucks, trade off some of these with that, and see what we can kind of get, if I'm gonna be honest. So again, this is just all the stuff. I brought a lot of mostly just common stuff that hopefully we can just trade off and kind of get at a pretty nice. All right, and now for this blue binder, this is actually all the cards that I'm thinking of either keeping or just getting graded at some point to keep or sell. And I don't have too much in here, right? We got these Lugia, Suicune, Ho-Oh cards, right? They're actually banned in, what's it called? In tournament play, which is funny because why would they make it in the first place, right? Just a couple cards that I like. This one, we actually got from Seabass, so I'd like to get that graded. You know, Zacian and all of them. Again, I'm sorry with the angle, everything is I'm kind of new at all this. And then at the very back, because I'm kind of goofy, and did this backwards for some reason, I put a bunch of cards back here, like all these full art trainer cards, right? Maybe one of these. Now these, I might trade off a few, but I do want to get a lot of these graded. This is all my keep grade stuff, but again, like if I see somebody wanting this Sylveon for $1 million or something, I doubt it'll be that much realistically, but if I see that, you know, that's going for a price and I want to trade it off for something, I'll go ahead and do that. So then we got all these trainer cards. Again, most of these I want to get graded, especially if it's a Pokemon that I really like. Of course, I'm going to get it graded, or if it's really nice artwork. Either one works. And then, of course, the last page, I have all of my Charizards and you know, Charmanders, because they always do the best. So with those, we'll keep it up for debate, but more than likely, we will get these graded. All right, guys, ain't gonna lie. Hoping Seabass gets here soon, because this caffeine's, it's really going through me right now, man. I ain't know if I'm gonna make it. I don't know. I mean, Seabass, hurry up, man. Of course, it has to be asked. We are at a card show, so Neo Zabin, what cards do you want to find, or at least hope to find? Now, if I'm gonna be honest, I'm not really gonna look into like the old stuff, right? The vintage and whatnot. Like, I know those do really good, but I'm not gonna go into that, right? I'm thinking, and if you know me pretty well from my streams, that I will probably stick to looking into more of my favorite Pokemon, right? So if they have anything, Toxicroak, Toxtricity, Gliscor, right? I'll take a Beedrill. You know, if they have anything that I really like, I'll definitely take it. And then also, of course, if they have anything that's graded. Now, if they have graded, I want to, again, stick with Pokemon mainly that I like. I don't really want to do, like, Charizard cards or anything like that, right? Because I know for a fact, as soon as I get in there, they're going to have, you know, a bunch of Charizards. They're going to have vintage stuff, and it's going to be tempting. But realistically, I don't really want those, because at the end of the day, regardless if you're collecting or just doing your own thing, you know, you gotta enjoy it. And everybody enjoys it differently. Just for me specifically, even though, yes, I would kind of like having like the Charizards and stuff, it just wouldn't feel as good as getting a, you know, a Toxtricity or a Toxicroak, right? Those are my favorite Pokemon, so that's what I'm hoping to get. Now, for Seabass, if I were to ask him, right, I think this might be him pulling up now. Yes, it is. Now, with him, I think he's probably going to look into some Gengars, right? I know that's his favorite, and I think Snorlax. Gengar and Snorlax, I think. So, hopefully, I'm going to get out of the car in a second and run up to him, like, hey, what are you doing? But yeah, so we're going to be checking in on him. Again, any favorite Pokemon that I have, that's going to be my chase. That's going to be my go-to. We may not even buy anything for all I know, right? You know, maybe I look at stuff and be like, oh, all that card. So, it is what it is. All right, let's just go ahead, start going inside. I got to find Seabass, because this parking situation it's kind of bad. It is not the best. So we're gonna go do that really quick. All right, guys, I'm a little bit scared. There's a bunch of geese. There are geeses everywhere. I don't know what's going on. Why are they everywhere? Can you even see them? They're like everywhere. They were literally just flying. They literally flew right over me. Look, they're still, there's so many of them over. What is going on? What? This might be an attack. The geese might be sabotaging us or something. Alright, guys, I'm looking for Seabass. I literally saw him a second ago, and I'm thinking the geese might have got him. They're just everywhere. Why are they so loud? They got him. I know they did. I literally saw him, and now he's missing. I'm gonna get you, geese. I'm gonna get you. Voiceover Neo here. I never knew that Sonic had trading cards. Like, since when was that ever a thing? I've never seen this before. Super awesome to see. I was kind of surprised when I saw it in this display of Pokemon cards, and I really did consider walking out of there with at least a Sonic or Shadow or both, but it didn't happen. So again, very surprising to see that. Just never knew that was ever a thing. Anyways, let's go back into the show.
So we don't have that yet. So we're doing mine
Detective Pikachu.
and soaking it all in. There's a lot of very strong vendors here.
Oh, that's a nice one. $30.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Got some autographed Charizard.
Oh, cheers. Thank you. I'm gonna continue my.
Buying my whole table.
So much stuff here. Dang, that Crown Zenith. I don't think I've seen that. The Leave Out Graga. Oh, that is pretty dope. I've seen the one where it's just the Lucario. I didn't see no, there was both. Oh, that is a nice bullpen. The one we could never grab.
There's more stuff we have. I don't know.
Oh, you got the Polytoad?
I do like Polytoad. It's only $5.
Think about it. Ooh, gouging fire. That one's more recent.
I do like the gold.
Yeah, I think it looks really well. Hey, VoiceOver Neo here again. I totally forgot while editing this video that I wanted to come back to the Gouging Fire and Golbat card. I think we've seen the Golbat card a couple times at the event, but that was the first Gouging Fire, and I've easily probably could have gotten it for this guy for a decent price, probably the $5, but totally forgot to do that. So I don't know how past Neo even made that mistake, and I'm kind of regretting not getting the Gouging Fire and that Golbat card. Rayquaza. Ooh, that was a nice crow with that. $5. I think we saw that one earlier.
I got my little helper with me next weekend, so it's over just north of Milwaukee.
Whew. All right. Pretty decent day. I would say it was successful. I really didn't get to trade off too much stuff, which we'll get to in a bit, but I think it's a pretty good day. So I'm heading back to the car right now. Gotta use the bathroom, but we'll be fine. All right, guys, so I just got back in the car, and we did a really good today. So I've only purchased 3 cards, and then we traded off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We were able to get 10 cards in trade. So in total, we ended up coming back with 13 cards. Not too bad. I'm going to show you guys right here. So this, I actually have 2 Toxicroak EX, right? 2 Toxicroak EX, just because I figured it's not bad. I mean, I love Toxicroak, right? And I have Toxicroak back at home, you know? So I wanted to do that. Of course, your boy's got to have Toxtricity, and it's the shiny Toxtricity. The thing at this place, and I feel like a lot of card shows, the issue that I'll run into is trying to find my boy and not being able to get him, because nobody even had a Toxtricity V Max. Like, they didn't have any of that, not even the Rainbow. Like, none of that was even available for Toxtricity, unfortunately, which if they had, I would have been more than willing to trade off like my better stuff, if that makes sense, right? But it's okay, you know, we do trades for stuff, right? So I ended up getting a Ninetales EX, and as you can see, a lot of these cards are valued at $1, which is fine. I'm not really complaining about it. They are valued at $1, and that's just because I really like the artwork. You know, I could have went for a more expensive one, but I decided, you know what, I'll just trade off the stuff I don't want, and in return get the stuff I do want, even if it is just for $1. Which, speaking of, we ended up getting a Crobat V as well. Now, I am probably going to get these cards graded, and I think in this case for the Crobat, unfortunately, it does have some whiting on the edge, so we're not going to be able to do that. But it's also a Crobat V promo from Sword and Shield, so it's okay. Now we're getting into some of the better stuff, right? This is the more pricier end things right here. So starting with the $2, we got the Gold Ice Rider Calyrex, right? It's in its VMAX form. I love this card, and I love the Pokemon. I really do, but in this case, I felt like I just had to do it. It's a gold card. Why wouldn't I want it, you know? Getting into some of our favorites here, we're going to go into the $3 stuff, actually. We have a Corviknight VMAX, right? This is Corviknight VMAX when he's, what's it called? In his little Gmax form and all that, right? We might have to pop it out of the top loader to maybe see it a bit better. I can't even pop it out. Okay, whatever. We'll pop it out next time. It's fine. Not a big deal. Next, we have ourselves a Toxtricity EX, and I can't remember what this set is, but we got a Toxtricity EX, and I wish it was shiny, but it's not a shiny form, is it? It's really hard to tell, and I believe it's not a shiny. It is just in its Terra form of ground typing, which coincidentally is its own weakness, so that's kind of an interesting one there. But we have a Toxtricity, and again, as you can see, the stickers are still on, so that was like $3 there. We have a shiny Hawlucha, which I think is from the same set. No, it is not. Different set, but shiny Hawlucha. If you guys know, I love me some Hawlucha. And then lastly, for the cards that we ended up trading, I ended up getting a full art Grafaiai. Now, that might be a little bit harder to see, but I do love Grafaiai. I mean, literally all these Pokemon, right? I mean, if you guys see my streams and stuff, you know I really love them. With the exception of the Ice Rider because, I mean, it's the Ice Rider, and I really don't use legendaries during gameplay, right? Now we're moving on to the ones that we did buy, right? So in total, this ended up costing me $44. This cost me $44 to get all these. So I have a, what is this? A Ho-Oh, right? Just because I like Ho-Oh. I thought the artwork on this Ho-Oh looked really nice. So I said, you know what, let's get it. Plus, I have not seen this sleeve before. I want to know where they got this sleeve from. Looks really nice. But yes, went out, saw this. I asked the guy, I was like, hey, would you be willing to do a trade for this? Because I have a bunch of V-cards myself that I don't want. And I was willing to give up like 2 or 3 of them for this. But he's like, nah, like it's a personal collection. Like I'm trying to sell them. Like no trading or anything. So I got a little upset by that. But, you know, I still bought it. It was $1. Nothing crazy. Then we got ourselves, and this is probably my favorite. I mean, these two I'm going to show you are literally my favorite ones. We have for $10 a Zamazenta V. Now, this card, I might genuinely get it graded because it looks so good. The Zacian one, probably, I think some other people had it, and a lot of people would probably prefer it, but I'm not a big Zacian fan, so when I saw this Zamazenta, I was like, I have to get it. It was the only one I've seen for this Pokemon, right? Super cool, super awesome. And then I had to go with a vintage card, right? As soon as I saw it, I almost lost my mind. And I'm looking at it. It doesn't look too bad. The guy said that apparently, because he had 2 of them, that apparently this one is lightly played. But I'm looking at the condition of it still, and it doesn't even look bad at all. And that is the Mew card, the ancient Mew card. Like, how many people even have this? I know it's an old card, right? It has the 1999-2000 Wizard on it, right? So this is an old card, $33. Like, only one person in that entire place even had this card. So as soon as I saw the Mew card, I had to buy it, right? Same thing with Zamazenta. And then, of course, I'm so happy to trade for all these other ones. Again, even if they are kind of just worth $1 or anything like that. Like, I'm just kind of happy to be able to trade off some of my cards for them. I didn't really trade a lot. If I'm gonna be honest, I think we only traded 4 cards for them, which isn't too bad. I mean, I traded 4 in return, not counting the ones we bought. I got like 10 back. So at the end of the day, I really like the experience. It was fun. Would definitely do it again. Maybe I'll save up a little bit of money next time because there's definitely a lot of cards there that are, you know, they're worth a pretty penny. So I think what I will do for next time is hopefully be able to have a better system, or maybe I could have had Seabass help out with the camera work, because I was there trying to trade off stuff and I wanted to record and show you guys what cards I traded off, because I can't really remember what cards I had, if I'm gonna be honest. You know, I had 3 in the front that I traded off, which I think was like a Blissey, a Luxray. Oh, it was Blissey, Luxray, and a Pinsir. That's what it was. And then we had a Gloom that we were also able to trade off. And it was interesting because the value of most of these cards, like when I looked it up myself, or if you know, I used like an app or something to help me get an idea of what these cards are worth, I didn't think they were worth that much, right? Like the Gloom card, for example, I swear it was only worth $5, and the guy was like, hey, I'll do that, like, it's worth $7. I'll give, you know, $7, blah, blah. And I was like, okay. So definitely an awesome experience. I'm going to start heading back home, going to probably sort them out and just kind of figure things out, I guess.
Hey, Editor Neo here. I kind of forgot to do an outro, which is my bad, and I wanted to give a little bit of advice since we're already here on card shows and just kind of what I learned, and maybe it can help you guys out a little bit with you going to your own card show if you are a card collector. The first thing you're going to want to do, it's actually 3 things you're going to want to do before you go to your first card show, is to know the value of your cards, sleeve your cards, and put them into something such as a card binder. Now, I'm saying it in that order because if you have a bunch of cards and you say, hey, I want to trade most of these off or sell them or whatever, you're going to want to know the value of your cards when going to a vendor. Because if you go up to a vendor and you have a bunch of cards that are like $1 or less, the vendor's probably not going to want to do any type of deal with you. Maybe you can kind of work something out, but for the most part, they're probably not going to do a deal with you. So definitely know the value of your cards. Make sure they're at least like maybe $3 to $5 minimum, and then just kind of go up from there and trade based off however you want to do your trading, right? I think that would be the step one of things. Step two is once you do figure out what cards you want to trade, sleeve them up, put them in a card sleeve, and then put it straight into number 3, which is your card binder. The reason why is because vendors are going to look at your cards. If they're not sleeved up, they're probably going to think it's scratched and have damage and all this other stuff, and it's less likely they're going to want to take those cards. So make sure that they are sleeved up. Some vendors will inspect it and look and be like, okay, it's worth this. Okay, maybe it's scratched. Some don't. They'll just go, okay. But each vendor is very different. So you just want to make sure that when you are doing it, that your cards are sleeved up. That way they're not in any bad condition or anything like that. They're going to be in good, pristine condition. And plus the binder is just extra protection for your cards, while also being convenient enough for you to hold all the cards you want to trade. While also, on the other hand, once you get cards that you get in return, you can also put those in there, and then bada boom. Or maybe you have a second binder that you put those in. So it really all depends on how you guys want to do it, but that's how I would recommend it for you, is for you to have a binder with all the ones you're going to trade off, and then you can have a section maybe at the end of the binder that you go, hey, this is going to be all the stuff that I want, I have saved and ready to keep for myself. The next thing you're going to want to do is, well, of course, go to the card show. And then you're going to do something that for now I'm going to call the seek and save method. Basically, what that means is that you're going to go into the show, you're going to seek out all the vendors that are going to have the same TCG as you, right? So if you're into Pokemon, you're going to look at all the vendors that have Pokemon stuff. And then what you're going to do is you're going to seek out all the cards that you want. And by seek out, I mean literally look through everything that they have. Look through their whole display case. If they have binders, look through all the binders. And if they have little boxes of cards, look through all the stuff if you have to. Sometimes you could get an idea of like, okay, these are only these type of cards, and you may not want to look through them. That is completely fine. I've done that myself at the card show, where I knew like, hey, this guy is selling a bunch of common cards here, like 4 for $1 or something like that. I was like, I'm not going to bother with this. And then of course, some of them actually were not even sleeved. But anyways, you can always always look through everything until you find the cards that you do want from that vendor. If they don't have anything you don't want, that's fine. You can move on to the next vendor. But when you do find something, take a picture of it. And then you're going to keep it on your phone until you finish your lap around with all the vendors. Because what you're going to do is when you take a picture, you're going to get a picture with the price on it. Sometimes the vendors don't have a price on the card, so you might need to write it down. Like, hey, vendor, what is the price of this card? You might say $5, and you're like, perfect. Boom, $5. And you get vendor Bob, right? Vendor Bob had this card for $5. It's going to be in your notes. You're going to keep that saved. And you're going to go to the next, to the next, to the next. And you're going to keep on doing that pattern of, hey, I like this card. Vendor Steve had it for 10. Vendor Bob, 10. Steve, okay, this Robert, he has it for 7. Okay. And you just kind of keep it going. And then eventually, once you're done with like every vendor seeking out all the stuff you want, you can look back through your notes and just go, hey, this guy had it for a really cheap price. I'm going to go with that guy, and then kind of buy it from there, or do trades, or however way you want to do it. But that's definitely what I recommend, is that you're going to seek out all the cards you want, compare it to all the other vendors that had the same card, and then you're going to pick the cheapest one that you can if possible. Of course, it's not always going to be guaranteed, as there's a bunch of other people there that may or may not get to it before you, but it's definitely a good method, especially for a smaller venue, to really just check out a bunch of vendors and then just see what has the better price for you. For my final piece of advice, guys, I would recommend that you just have fun. Have the most fun that you can at these shows. Have a great time. Just enjoy it. Have the blast. If you want to be that guy that sells all your cards, go for it. If you want to be that guy that buys all the cards, go for it. If you want to be the person that goes trade for trade, do it. You can mix all of them up if you want. Just have fun. as much fun as you want. And of course, collect the way you want to collect. Don't ever feel forced or pressured to get a card because it's autographed or a PSA 10 or super expensive. Don't just buy stuff just because of that. I mean, again, if you want to, go ahead, but don't ever just feel pressure or anything like that to do it. Just do whatever it is that you are comfortable with and have fun. For example, I know I went with Seabass. He had some cards that I think at first, initially, he wanted to trade off. And then at the end of the day, he never traded a single one. And I believe, if I remember correctly, he said he didn't do it because he saw the value of the cards that he had. Like other people were selling them and such. And he's like, oh, I saw the value of my cards. And, you know, I think he got iffy trying to like, he, you know, thinking like, man, should I go ahead and trade these off? You know, so he never did it. I tried to encourage him a bit. I do remember like a couple times just being like, hey man, you know, you can always check with a vendor and see if they'll, you know, trade off something and yada yada. But again, at the end of the day, he didn't, because again, he said that he saw the value of his cards and how much they were kind of worth, and you know, that kind of influenced him. So I never pressured him to be like, no, dude, you need to do this, but never pressured him. I just made sure that he knew, like, hey, if you really want to, you can just trade it off, get a discount. Never did. So super awesome. And again, I think it was pretty good that I did it that way, because at the end of the day, he felt satisfied with all the stuff that he had. I felt satisfied with all the stuff that I had. We both felt satisfied with the way that we handled things and how we did everything. So we always had like a good time throughout that whole thing. I just wish I could have recorded more. That's the only thing. I wish I was so invested in everything going on that I wish I could have recorded and done everything a lot better. But it is a learning experience for me, and hopefully I can get all the stuff I need to do a much better job next time when maybe I do it again. Who knows? But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. As always, please stay kind, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you guys next time when, who knows, maybe we'll keep up with these vlog-style videos. Definitely let me know in the section down below, up, down in the comments, if you want me to kind of start getting into vlogging. Not necessarily like everyday things, but maybe like events, like if we go to another card show or maybe a game event or something like that, you know? Let me know in the comments down below, should we do more vlogging, like event vlogging, if that makes sense. Just let me know, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great night, everyone.